What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Clippers Latest, where we talk all things LA Clippers, quick, fast, and to the point. I'm your host with the most, Brandon Goggins, back here with another action-packed episode today. But quick, I want to ask you for a quick vibe check. How we all feeling today? I hope that it's been a magnificent day, depending on what time you are viewing this. If you're viewing this in the morning time, I hope that you're about to have an exceptional day yourself. I myself am having an exceptional day, I'd like to think. Obviously, I'm recording this the day before, but by the time you guys are seeing this, it'll be my birthday. So for my birthday, all I ask is that you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new. That's all a guy could ask for. I'd be satisfied. And a Tennessee win. You know what I'm saying? Tennessee born and raised, went to UT. They're playing Georgia right now. It was looking really good. We was looking real sweet. We was looking real good. But then Tennessee turned into Tennessee. The game is not over, though, so I'm not losing hope. Hopefully, by the time I'm done recording this, there will be a different result. But, I'm just going to knock on wood and, just let it be whatever. But I have a different team that I am far more focused on at this moment. And, of course, we are talking about the Clippers. And you can probably already imagine what I'm about to be talking about first. It's been the highlight of the last week and a half and some change, however long this has been. It's felt like forever. But we are again talking about the aspiration debacle, whatever you would want to call it. But this is a little bit of different news. Something that actually just happened as of today, as of this recording. Aspirations former CEO came out with a statement. Obviously, there's still a lot swirling around the franchise regarding the so-called no-show deal between Leonard and Aspiration, but this is the contract that some say was designed to evade the salary cap, of course, but former CEO Andre Sherney just came out firing back and saying that's not true. You know what I'm saying? He says that any reports of a no-show deal are flat out false. His words exactly, quote, "The contract contained 3 pages of extensive obligations that Leonard had to perform, and if he didn't, Aspiration could terminate the contract." So, I'm just saying, Cerny says that he signed the contract right before leaving the company because, like I said, he's a former CEO. So he left back in 2022. This deal was from, 2021? But he said that he doesn't recall any conversations about any type of salary cap, any type of circumvention during the months of that whole discussion. So basically, according to him, it was a straight-up business sponsorship. But here is the catch with all of this, and this I don't know why isn't being talked about more. Aspirations co-founder Joe Sandberg just pleaded guilty last month for defrauding investors and lenders out of over $248 million. And to me, I feel like that's why Steve Ballmer's "they con me" comment hits different because, you think that you're getting into, some business with some good guys, they go get you covered, but whole time there's some scammers. Whether Steve actually had knowledge of this or not, I don't know. We haven't, right now he's denying it. I'm with Steve. I'm gonna believe what he say. You know what I'm saying? Until there's concrete evidence that comes out that will allow me to not believe him. I'm riding with Steve and the Clips till the wheels fall off, man. I feel like it's hard to separate this from a company that's built on fraud. So where exactly does that leave the Clippers? I don't really know. NBA investigators are still doing their digging, and until that report drops, nothing is going to be labeled safe. But for now, Sherney's statements definitely help Kawhi's credibility, but realistically, this story is far from over, so we just need to wait it out a little bit more, hear more as the story develops. But I felt like that was a big piece of news that, a lot of people are going to choose to ignore because, again, they just hate the Clippers for whatever reason. But I wouldn't say that's concrete evidence, but it's definitely, I don't know, it's definitely something that could work to our benefit. It's definitely a vouch in a way. Um, but he might be trying to cover his own ass. Might be trying to help Steve cover his. We don't know. But again, I'm believing I'm believing Steve aspiration and well, actually, Andre Cherney, he's not part of aspiration anymore, so I'm believing him. I'm not gonna say I believe in aspiration because if this is all true, like y'all are the one that got us into this. I don't mess with the unspoken individual that reported all of this, but he wouldn't have to report it if they didn't scam us. So forget aspiration for putting us through this. You know what I'm saying? If none of this turns out to be true, aspiration, I got some words for you. I ain't even mean to rhyme. I'm just a poet like that. But we're done talking about poetry for now. Right now, we're going to talk about our current team. Well, not so much our current team, but somebody that is a member of the current team. And I'm expecting to, no pun intended, take a big leap this season. I'm talking about Derrick Jones Jr., of course. Like, let's talk about it real quick. Derrick Jones, he came to the Clippers in the 24 offseason, and his game has leveled up significantly since leaving Dallas. Before the trade, his career averages, I'm talking about like Miami, Portland, Phoenix, like all of those teams beforehand, 19.6 minutes, 6.7 points, and 3.3 rebounds. And that's, solid, it's okay. But you fast forward to his first full season in LA, and he's posting 24.3 minutes a game, 10.1 points per game, 3.4 rebounds a game, and a steal a game. So that's that two-way threat that I was kind of talking about in some episodes ago. And plus, he shot over 50% or 52% from the field, giving the Clips an efficient, reliable production from a player on both ends of the floor. And I feel like that's a significant jump. Again, no pun intended. But you felt his presence every time that he steps on the court. Of course, this offseason brought in some more star power, so that could impact his minutes. I'm not really sure how it may, but DJJ is one of those guys that fits with any lineup. You can throw him out there with anybody, and he's going to play with energy. He's going to crash the boards. He can defend multiple positions, which is very, very critical and helpful. And at the end of the day, he throws down highlight dunks that get the crowd out of their seats. You know what I'm saying? He embodies that Lob City 2.0 spirit. And if you got somebody like him who can soar out of the gym on the bench, that's a weapon that most teams don't have. So I think that the highlights are going to be crazy this year. We going back to Lob City 2.0 just in 2025 to 2026. You heard it here first. Shout out my boy DJJ. I'm expecting big things. Hopefully we use him right. Because we still got to see the Bounce Bros in action, you know what I'm saying? Lob City 2.0. But I'm done talking about Lob City 2.0, and I'm actually going to talk a little bit about Lob City 1.0, but in a different fashion as to how you may think. It's a little fun little post. It's a fun little, activity. Clutch Points, they dropped a hypothetical 7-game series, the Ultimate Clippers Legends matchup. So I want to lay out the teams for you guys at first. Obviously, I don't have the visual for you at this moment, but I can try and paint the picture for you. So team 1, Chris Paul at the point, Jamal Crawford at the 2, Kawhi Leonard running the 3 spot, Danny Manning in the front court running at 4 in the dunker spot. Then, of course, we got Elton Brand holding down the paint. So you already know. Team 2, James Harden running the point, Corey Maggette, big slasher, coming in at the 2, Paul George at the wing at the 3, Blake Griffin, BG Twin in the front court running the 4 spot, and then big DeAndre Jordan anchoring the paint. So let's look at these matchups before we go ahead and make a decision as to who we think would win this series. So I think that it's CP3's floor generalship. Is that a word? Generalship? I think it might be a word. And his IQ versus Harden's ISO game. So it's which one of those do you value more? Personally, as a point guard, I'm going to take Chris Paul. Assuming that everybody's assuming that everybody's in their prime. That makes this even harder, actually. Because obviously James Harden is the better player, right? But Chris Paul, if I want somebody to run my offense, dictate my offense, I don't know who wins that matchup, bro. For this sake. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the other matchups, and maybe that'll make that decision a little bit easier. But we got Jamal Crawford's flashy handles versus Corey Maggotte's pure strength, athleticism, and slasher tendency. I'm gonna have to go with Jamal over Corey. Magette was a fantastic player, highlight player as well, but so was Jamal. You know what I'm saying? He played with that swag that a lot of kids wanted to play with back in the day. You know, I was trying to perfect the Jamal Crawford double behind the back scoop lay. You know what I'm saying? I never did that in game, but you know, I can't say that I didn't try. So I'm gonna take Jamal in that matchup. Now we got Kawhi's two-way dominance versus PG's smooth ass scoring. Cause y'all know that PG be playing cool, man. I don't know. And like obviously they are both two phenomenal players, both top 15 at their position all time. That's fair. Have there been 15 other better small forwards than Paul George? Give me 20, bro. But like, I don't know. I feel like the small forward position isn't as deep as far as talent as people make it out to be. It's because it starts off with the LeBrons, the Larry Birds, and the Kevin Durant's that people are like, oh man, there ain't no way Paul George can be top 20. Yes, he can. Yeah, he sure can. He actually can. But obviously, I'm still going to go with Kawhi in this one. I think that Kawhi, because he was such a two-way threat in his prime, I think that I'm going to take him over Paul George's fluidity, so to speak. And we got Danny Manning's skill and touch, precision, if you will, versus Blake Griffin's electric dunks, highlight real tendencies. Give me Blake here. No diss to Danny Manning, but I think I'm going to take Blake in this one. And then we got Elton Brand's steady low post game versus DeAndre's rim protection and lob threats. This is actually kind of tough, but I think I'm gonna take Elton Brand, bro. Double machine in the 2000s, first overall pick in 20. Why was I about to say 29? In 99. Rookie of the year, had some all-star appearances. I know DeAndre had one, and he had several defensive teams, but I'm pretty sure Elton Brand did as well. So it's low-key kind of evenly balanced, and I feel like this is a perfect representation of what the Clippers' legacy is all about. You know what I'm saying? On one team, we got brains and balance, and then on the other side, we got flash and highlights. So I think, bro, y'all might call me crazy. I was gonna say, give me the brain IQ team, just because I feel like that's a better basketball team put together, whereas the bottom team is like just throwing a lot of stars together and seeing what happens. But like we've seen in some cases that can work. You know what I'm saying? But thinking that this is prime Harden, like, he was still facilitating. He was still sharing the ball. And then if he has two lob threats in Blake and DeAndre, I don't know. But then again, you surround Kawhi by a lot. If you surround Kawhi with a lot of guys that just know ball, that's where he thrives the most. And we're talking about prime Y, man. I don't know, bro. Bro, give me the flashy team. I want to be entertained. But I'm not saying that this is close, bro. Y'all let me know what y'all thoughts are in the comments below. I can't make a decision, but if I had to make one, give me team 2. Give me the flashy team. But that game's going 7. They probably find a way to go 8 if possible. But I'm done talking about the hypothetical teams, and I think it's about time that we start talking about the real team, if you get what I'm saying. Training camp is almost here. You know what I'm saying? It's almost underway. We just got a few weeks. And I think more importantly than anything, this roster needs to realize that mastering the fundamentals is the foundation of it all. You get what I'm saying? Like, we know the talent is there. We know that the star power is stacked on this team, but you can't win in May and June just off of flash alone. We've seen teams flunk out so many times thinking that they would be able to, but there's so much more to that. Like there are teams that have a good balance. They have flashy players, but those flashy players understand that when it's time to get serious, it's time to get serious. You get what I'm saying? Like those flashy plays will come, but the fundamentals are where it's at. Like that's what it's always going to boil back down to. Scoring efficiency has to be a priority. You can't have empty possessions where guys are dribbling 15 seconds off the clock like Julian Newman in 2016 with MSH TV. No diss to Julian Newman, even though that was a crazy stray and he didn't have anything to do with this. But every shot has to be a smart one. High percentage, high value. You got to know that we going to make it. You get what I'm saying? I feel like the biggest key next to scoring is ball movement. Think about the 2014 Spurs. That was Kawhi's blueprint. You got him started on becoming the legend that we know today. Like, everybody touched the ball at least once per possession. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to touch it at least once. Keep the defense rotating and then force defensive breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? Keep that ball in constant motion. That's what's going to get defenses tired. Because keep in mind, we have an old squad. So we need to play smarter, not harder. And you would think that that is like a given, but sometimes it doesn't seem so apparent. You get what I'm saying? So I think we need to keep that in mind. This team can't afford to rush shots or try to ISO through elite defenses. We're going to be playing a lot of people younger than us, so we can't be forcing things. You get what I'm saying? We need to be swinging the ball around like a hot potato until someone finds the crack. You get what I'm saying? We've got the IQ. We've got the skill. So with that being said, if they commit to patience, movement, and efficiency, I think that this group can be deadly. And I've said it so many times, the talent is already there. Execution is what will define the season overall. But that's going to do it. I want to ask you guys, what do you think is the biggest thing that this team needs to focus on moving into the regular season or at least training camp? What are some big focuses there? Who do you have in that best of 7 game series between the IQ and the flashy guys? Like I said, it's close, but I don't know. Tell me what you're expecting from Derrick Jones Jr. this season. I hope that it's going to be, a steady increase. Y equals MX plus B. You know what I'm saying? We all about the slope here. You get what I'm saying? So hopefully he gets to continue that rise and we don't see any decline. But prepare for whatever. Expect the unexpected. And then, of course, leave your thoughts below about anything aspiration related. I'm always curious to know what you guys have to say, whether that be positive or negative. I don't, you know what I'm saying? If you agree with me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to take it personal. You get what I'm, like, everybody has differing opinions, and my opinion isn't superior to anybody else's. I'm just here to voice it. You get what I'm saying? But everybody on this channel has a voice. Let's make this a community. I don't want to talk at y'all. I want to talk with y'all. So please share your thoughts below in the comments. I enjoy reading them. I enjoy seeing what you guys have to say. But for now, that's going to do it for this one. I hope that you guys enjoyed. And as always, don't forget to hit that like button. And of course, consider subscribing. Like I said, it would mean the world to me for my birthday if I could get a few more subscribers, man. I'm just trying to grow the family and build something special here. But I'm going to get out of here for now. Y'all be easy and stay sleazy. And as always, keep it P. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace.